Hi everybody and welcome to the Grianaig Creations podcast. My name is Kirsty and I have totally forgotten how I'm meant to do my introductions, but this is episode 73, coming to you from a slightly different room from the last one I came to you in, and that's because Scott and I have been rearranging what room is which. So this room was originally our bedroom and where I recorded was the office/craft room. We've done a wee switcheroo and the back room is now the bedroom and this is now the office/craft room. It's a lot brighter in here and that's great for like office work and recording podcasts and just sitting and doing whatever, but it wasn't so great when you were trying to sleep. So we decided to do a wee swap around and so far it has been fantastic. So it's just gonna get comfy. It's been so long since I've recorded that everything just seems a bit out of sync. I feel very much kind of like, what am I doing? What am I meant to say? But we're gonna go with it and see how we get on. And I want to be that person that talks about what they're wearing. I should have shown this off in the last podcast because it was a finished object, but I don't know, it just slipped my mind. It wasn't in the pile. It was actually probably in my chest of drawers because I wear it so much. But this is the Mount Pleasant tee by Pip and Pin. Highly recommend the pattern. Can't wait to make another one. The yarn is from Lovebugs Yarns and I will put all the information in the description box below. But yeah, I got this finished a while ago now and I love it. I really can't wait to make another one. I'd probably omit the waist shaping, but otherwise I'd probably make it the exact same length. But yeah, I'm just finding all my hair on it and then cat hair as well. So yeah, this is the Mount Pleasant tee. I really love it. Can't say enough good things about it. It is worked from the bottom up. It is dropped shoulder. It is boxy as well. Very minimal ribbing that you pick up for the sleeve and the neckband. And yeah, it was just such a quick and delightful knit. I did do helical knitting for it so that I wouldn't get any particular pulling, given how colourful this yarn is. I didn't really want specific pulling patterns, so I just done every other round. It was with helical knitting. If you don't know what it is, there's really good tutorials out there. So yeah, it is a finished object that I forgot to show off last time, so I'm going to show it off now as at what I'm wearing. To follow on with some finished objects, I'm going to jump into some other garments that I finished. All of them have not been blocked, all of them do not have their ends woven in, so if you're one of those people that are like, that's not finished, then you're not going to enjoy my podcast. Because I never really weave in my ends, but I'm going to on this one. I have to. So, actually I'm going to start with this one. You saw part of the progress on this for the last podcast. This is the Colour Block Boxy tee, and this is by Vicky of Tiny Teal Handcrafted. Let me just check it as handcrafted, not handmade. Because knowing my luck, I have just said that wrong. It would also help if I could type. It is Tiny Teal Handcrafted, that's absolutely fine. So this is my Colour Block Boxy tee. I have made this in the DK weight version. I have also extended the body on it, so this could be cropped and the pattern is meant for cropped. And as the name kind of gives it away, it's also meant to be a bit boxy. And I loved this project. I flew through this. I think I had this finished within 10 days of casting on and getting it cast off. It does still need blocked, the ends do still need woven in, but I really love this. I have had it on before the weather got really warm here in Scotland. So hopefully I will be able to get some finished object photos and get them up on the blog or on Instagram. But yeah, I really love the colour as well. This is yarn that I have had dyed a while ago, and again I'll put all the yarn details down below, because this is a non-treated, non-superwash yarn. And again with this one I did do alternating skeins, and looking in the camera there I thought I saw some pulling just round about here. There just seems to be a line going up the way, but I did alternate skeins, and I guess it's just the way it has been dyed. Well, the yarn has been dyed and the way I've knit it up. But I do love it, it's brilliant, it's so soft, and I can't wait for the weather to get a little bit cooler again, because it's just a little too warm for this redhead. I'm melting. So yeah, this pattern is live now, you can get this, and I will post all the information down below as to where you can find Vicky's designs. Again, I've not talked about it in a while, but I will not be posting links to Ravelry where possible, so if you want Ravelry, you're gonna have to go find it yourself, I'm afraid. I don't use it anymore. Okay, I need a quick drink. We don't have Wawa here in Scotland, we don't even have it in the UK. Wawa is completely an American thing, but 3 years ago my partner and I, along with one of his friends and his mum, went to Florida, and my dad and I watched this vlogger that loves Wawa and sheets, and there's another one he really likes, but I can't remember it now off the top of my head. And I kind of googled beforehand if there was a Wawa near where we were going to be on International Drive, and lo and behold there actually was. So I went down one day when Scott and his friend were kind of having their own day, and before I was meeting one of my friends that lives in Florida, hi Jack, I decided to walk down to Wawa, just get a drink, and I seen that they had this cup. So I had originally bought this for my dad as a kind of, not a prank present, but just like something, I think like an inside joke type thing that he and I had, and he's never used it in the 3 years that he's had it now. And my mum contacted me like, we're going to put this in the charity bin unless you want it, and I was like, hell yeah, I want it. So this is my absolute giant Wawa juice cup, and at the moment it's just got diluting juice in it. Okay, so the next one, again, ends have not been woven in, but I am ridiculously proud of this project. Can't wait for myself to get this absolutely 100% finished. Just gonna tuck in some ends, make it look a wee bit better. I have had this on the go for a while now, and I don't really know exactly why I stalled on this project. I think it's because it was coming up to the point where we were going to be moving, and it just, that, and I'd split for the sleeve, so I was working flat. But I finally finished my as if tee. I'm so happy. I have kept this one cropped, and I really do enjoy it the length it is, but I think if I was to make another one, then I would consider making it slightly longer on the body. I had plenty of yarn to make it longer, and I was humming and hawing for the longest time, because I done, what's it called? I done the cast on that you do on scrap yarn. You crochet a chain and then you pick up your stitches from the chain so that you can knit down. genuinely can't remember for the life of me what this cast on is called. And so I essentially cast on just before the ribbing, or well, just after because it's bottom up, and then I knit up. And once I had done the neckband, done the arm bands, I undone my cast on chain and, well, I tried it on first and I was humming and hawing for about a week as to whether or not to crop it or just knit it longer, because I do enjoy a crop top, hence this one, my Amma sweaters, but I also really do like ones that cover my lower back because that's where I feel I do lose a lot of heat. So I was really on the fence about what to do with this one, and I still am. I really am still on the fence, and I could 100% just make another one, and I might still, genuinely might still make another one and just knit it longer. If you guys can hear that playing, I am sorry, the windows are open. I now live in Paisley, and we're not incredibly far from the airport, but we're also not normally in a flight path. But every so often a little passenger plane will go overhead, and it can be quite loud, I'm not gonna lie, it can be quite loud. So I have had more than enough yarn to knit it full length, but I decided that it's meant to be a crop top. I would like a couple more crop tops, so why not just crop it? So I tried it on, found where I thought was the optimal place to have my ribbing, and realised that it was an inch, well, optimal place to start my ribbing, and I realised it was an inch higher than where my knitting was at that point. And in hindsight I should have just ripped back and re-knit, but what I done was drop down and knit it back as a purl, and that took forever. Oh god, I should have just ripped it back and just re-knit it as 2x2 purl, 2x2 rib, instead of dropping back six stitches and purling back up, because it honestly, I don't know why, but it took me forever to do. And I also did not reduce the needle size for the ribbing because my stomach is bigger than my hips, but because I have done that, the ribbing just wants to flip. So I'm hoping with blocking and just wearing it, that is not going to be an issue, but for now it does want to flip, which is a pain, but oh well, because I've had it folded in the hopes that even just having it folded with weight on it, that would kind of stop happening. And I just caught my ring on the fluff, whoops. But yeah, as FT, all the details for that and where you can find the pattern will be in the description box below, along with what yarn I have used, because for the life of me I can't remember what the yellow is, and I vaguely remember what the fluff is. I'm so good at this podcasting stuff, can you tell? Okay, and the last garment, got a feeling you guys might not have seen this before. I don't know, my memory is god awful. I have done a crochet top. I'm so over the moon happy with this project, and I can't wait to do another one, and I am going to write up my version of it, because I followed a recipe that really left a lot up to you to do. Like, I only really used the basic numbers that were provided. So I really want to do another one, and I want to make it longer. I do want to make another one and make it longer. But all of these yarns were from an advent calendar from 2017, so that felt really good to use up those yarns. And they were 10 gram mini skeins. So pretty sure it's 24 minis, if not 25. So that maximum yarn weight was 250 grams. I weighed this after, or I weighed the yarn at least after, and now let me get this right. I used 180 grams for this project. Now bear in mind I am a plus size girl, and so I also made it boxy, but I did crop it. But my thought process was that I wanted to do, I wanted to get one repeat at least, and then try and get another repeat on the body. Now what actually happened was I got a full repeat of my colours between casting on and completing the armhole. So if you see the pink to pink, I joined the round on that pink row. And then unfortunately, just because it was 10 gram skeins, I couldn't get a full colour, a full repeat of each colour round. I think I got to 22 colours of the 24 or 25, and even at that, on the 22nd or the 23rd, whatever I just said, I did have to finish the last little bit in another colour. So let's see, so from there to there, literally from there, from here you can see the flash of red to right here, I literally had to use the next colour in my sequence. That's how little I had left to complete in one round. So because I had ran out on that round, I knew I would run out even more on the next colour even earlier, because of how much extra I had to use for my increases for the arm. So I've decided that when I do this again, because I'm going to, and I'd also really want to get the pattern written up, I'm going to use 20 gram mini skeins and still do what I've done here and just run through the colours and then do a repeat again. I'm also hoping to make it longer because I think this would look lovely in full length, and I also might do half sleeves or 3/4 sleeves, and you never know, I might do full length sleeves. But it's just so beautiful, I love it. I am 100% on a garment kick right now. I just want to make everything. So yeah, that is my Crochet Granny Stripe tee, I guess it is, because this is just a t-shirt. And I have worn that out and people do look at me funny, but I never know if that's because I'm plus size wearing a crop top and people are just like, oh my god, or because they're like, oh, that's crochet. I never know and I never care. Okay, a couple more finished things. First of all, I made this wee guy. I say wee, he's like the size of my head. So I made another one of these for my dad for his birthday, and then I decided that I love them so much that I was going to make another one and write the pattern down as I go, because I did make this up as I went along. And so this is Buzzy, or BuzzBee, and he is just stinking cute. He'll just be on the show, just him, he can take over. So BuzzBee has 2 feet at the front, 2 hands, 2 wings and 2 antennae, and of course a big smile. So this is BuzzBee, and I have got the pattern written up. I'm going to be putting it on my blog hopefully in the next couple of days. How have I got cat hair on this already when there isn't a cat in this house? So yeah, BuzzBee lives in our living room on top of one of our units so that we can see him, and I hope to make some more amigurumi to have on display in the house. But I really think he is adorable and cute, so if you like him, keep your eyes peeled on my blog and you'll be able to get your hands on the pattern as well. I think I need another drink. Okay, so the last couple of finished things. A lot of my projects are quite big projects at the moment. I still have my Marled Magic sweater, I still have oh, it fell down. I still have Ripple crochet blanket, Granny Stripe crochet blanket, my goddaughter's crochet blanket, goddaughter number 2's knitted blanket. I've still got the knitted squares my mum started blanket. So I've lost count. Was that 6 blankets? Yeah, we'll go with 5 or 6. So I've still got a lot of blankets. Our Marled Magic is big because it's oversized. It's also fingering held double, so it is quite warm. We have had temperatures reaching 22-23 degrees over here in Scotland, which is phenomenally warm for us. I don't handle the heat very well unless I am specifically going somewhere I know is going to be extremely warm, i.e. Florida. We don't have air conditioning in Scotland. That is not a thing here. So it has been far too warm to work on big, heavy projects. And that's not me being like, oh, I'm sitting in leggings and a t-shirt. That's me sitting in shorts and a strappy top with a fan on, still finding it too warm to work on these projects. And because some of them are taking so long to complete, I just needed something quick, simple. I needed a quick satisfaction project. So I decided to pull out some of my cotton and start making some washcloths. I love my cotton washcloths, and I've mentioned them to Scott and he's just like, I would love one too. So I thought, we'll make him a washcloth, and then we'll make more washcloths, and more, and more. So these are, this one is a PG Allen pattern. This is Grandma's dishcloth. It is dishcloth. I know I'm going to say dishcloth and washcloth, but hers is Grandma's dishcloth, but you can use it as a washcloth. And so I've got 3 of these. Then this one, I'm afraid I don't know off the top of my head, and the pattern is downstairs. But once I get that information, again, I will put it in the description box below. I'm hearing noises. Like someone's outside. All of these are done with sugar and cream. I know that this one is psychedelic. Don't remember all of these names. Sorry. So good at this podcasting malarkey. But yep, I'm nowhere near finished my washcloth. Sorry, someone's making a noise outside. I'm nowhere near finished working on some of these and whipping up a good couple, and even if we don't use them here in the flat, I can gift them to friends and family. So it's really quick, it's really nice, and it's just something different as well. It kind of breaks up some of the other projects that are just taking forever. So yeah, washcloth. Okay, so I have at least one whip that I don't have here, and I'm not going to go get it because it's in the bedroom and Scott is currently taking a nap. So I will show that on the next podcast. If I don't frog it, I might frog it. I think it's just going to be too big. It's a sock and it's got less stitches than I normally would do in a 2.25mm needle, but it has lace, which means it's stretchy. And I tried it on and it is definitely too big for me, and that's it stretched to my quite wide feet, and the lace still isn't stretched out to its capacity. I don't want to say to its maximum capacity, because like you can overstretch lace, but to its normal stretch it's going to be too big for my foot. And I could maybe pass them to my mum, because I have to knit her socks in a 2.5 with a bigger stitch count. So I'm on the fence. I don't want to knit them for them not to fit her, like be too small for her but too big for me. And I know they're definitely not going to fit my best mate, and Scott doesn't want lace socks, so I don't know what to do. So you might never see them. Okay, so my camera does this thing where it stops recording after a while, so I'm going to have to restart. It'll be a split second for you, but it's going to be a couple of seconds for me. So, 2 seconds. And we're back. Okay, so, works in progress. My phone keeps going off and it is distracting me. I'm going to turn it over. So, first work in progress is on a very small foot outline. Like, this is not for my foot. And she's going to watch this, and I've still to contact her to make sure she's actually going to want these, but I'm making socks for my best friend. I have done a rounded toe, but I've done a slightly different rounded toe, different from what I am used to. And it's been very interesting because I had the bare basic information to go on, and then I had to make it up myself. And so I found it quite an interesting process, because I had to start this about 3 or 4 times before I was really quite happy with the spacing for the increases and everything else. So I like the finished result so far. And so I've decided to experiment and see what fit the people I like to knit socks for prefer. So for this one, I'm going to do a rounded toe with a fish lips kiss heel. Because the last pair of socks I made Kirsty had a standard wedge toe and a heel flap and gusset. And so I'm going to make these, take them down to her once they're finished, instead of saving them up and giving her to them as a gift. And see what she thinks, have her wear them and see what she prefers. Like, even if she wore odd socks for that day and then had one of these on and then one of the first pair I made her. And just to kind of get her reaction, like, does she like a rounded toe, or does she prefer the wedge toe? Does the heel flap and gusset feel more sturdy? Does it feel more comfortable? Or does she get a better fit with the fish lips kiss heel? So that's why it's currently on my foot outline, because I had her stand on some an empty cardboard cereal box when she was last here, and we'll see how we go. So I don't have long to go now before I start the heel, but I'll be really curious to see her preferences, because I've kind of done similar for my friend Tracy, although I haven't given her the second pair yet for her to compare. But I think I'd done another wedge toe on hers but changed the heel, because the pair I had made her had a heel flap and gusset. And then I think I either done I wouldn't have done a fish lips kiss heel. I think I'd just done a German short row heel for her. I think. The pair are in the bedroom, so I can't even go get them. But I have shown them off. So that's what these are. It's just me experimenting with a slightly different method of rounded toe, because this is toe up. And it's been really interesting learning curve. And I do want to make myself a pair of rounded toe socks, but I also really need to make quite a few pairs of shorties for myself, especially for summer, because all my socks, they're not long by any means. They're definitely not as long as some people knit their socks, but I would really love some shorties. So once I get these done for Kirsty, I will maybe cast on a pair for myself. And this is with West Yorkshire Spinner yarn. This is, there's 3 different numbers on here, so it's 06 851 0984. But some of them have specific names, and I'm pretty sure this is from the Birds collection. But why they don't put that on the ball band is beyond me. So that's my first whip. Second whip, if you are taking part in the Mystery Knit Along by Maddie Harvey, this is the Trig Point shawl, look away now, because I am not getting blamed for spoilers. I am severely behind, however. I have not done clue 3 or 4, even though they are out, and I know other people have completed their shawls. So I had to use, I had these on separate needles, but I had to use the needles for something. What did my ASFT. I had to use it for my ASFT. So they are now crammed onto one very small needle. I'm dropping my yarn. It looks ridiculous, all crammed up, but right, I'll show you one. So that's clue 1 and clue 2. And clue 1 and clue 2. So maybe today I will print off clue 3 and 4 and get these back onto 2 separate needles. My hair is everywhere. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do today. Get them back onto separate needles and start clue 3, because I have seen them. I am part of a group on Facebook that is specifically to allow spoilers, and so I've seen the whole finished object. That does not put me off at all. The only reason I've stalled on this is because I had to make the bee for my dad, and then I got into a serious garment kick and finished my SFT. And then I started trying to get my goddaughter's blanket finished, and then my head just went, please make dishcloths. That's all I want to do, is just make dishcloths. So that's the only reason I've stalled on this. I thought it's, so far I feel like it's a very great pattern. That doesn't sound very good. It's a very intuitive pattern. It's something that I can look at the physical pattern and then go to my knitting, and within a couple of rows, that's it. It's now in my head. I don't need the pattern, I can just sit and work through it. And then especially because you do one side and then the next side after each other. So not one row, one row, one row, one row. You do the whole clue on one section, and then you do the whole clue in the second section. Oh, that's a lot of words. So hopefully I will get clue 3 and 4 printed out and I can start working on that. Because it's not massive, so I don't think it would make me like overheat. Yeah, I think I'll do that today. Right, I'm not even going to try and put that back in the bag because there's 4 balls of yarn attached to that. Next project. It's still not funny. Still not finished. Yeah, sorry if the ball bag offends anybody. Especially if you're Scottish. Although really it's a term of endearment more than anything. If you recognise it, you know. And you know the struggle, because this blanket has now got to over 600 stitches. And again, it's going to look like nothing because it's on 2 cables that are still too small but too big for me to work easily around because of the middle, this bit here. Let's see if I can, because I have a connector, which makes it very tough sometimes to get the yarn moving around easily. So yep, this beauty but beast is at over 600 stitches now. And all I have left is what's left in this. So this is a 50 gram ball, and I reckon I've got 30 grams left, maybe. And I want to get as much of that in it as possible and cast off. But I'm also thinking of doing an I-cord cast off in white yarn, just like the white yarn I've used in the centre. I don't know, because I risk using the wrong yarn, because technically I finished that. That's why this square is so small, is because I finished that yarn. But I have since found more white yarn. But I don't know if it's the same yarn. But I guess if it's on the cast on, then it's okay that it could maybe look a little bit different. But I want it to look like it fits together. I know the baby's not going to notice and care. She's just going to be like, I'm warm. I'm not saying the baby's name because that's not my place. But if I've said it before, then you know it. My memory, it's gone. But yep, loving these colours so much. This was a yarn pack from Aldi. And they do, I actually think they do really nice acrylic yarn. If you don't agree, then that's your opinion. I'm not here to start a yarn war. But I think it's very nice. How is my hair everywhere? Yep, there's another one. And another one. I guess that's just knitting 101, is that your hair is going to get on all your projects and you're going to knit it into your projects, and just means there's a little bit of you with every stitch. So I really want to get this finished and given to the baby. Just like I want the one that's behind me given to the first goddaughter, because that is now taking the piss at how long it is taking me to get that bloody blanket finished. I should have woven in the ends as I went. But that is it for my works in progress. Again, like I said, I do have another sock on the go. I don't even know if I told you it was a sock. Remember that gibbering about the lace and it being too big for me, but it could be too small for my mum? That was a sock. I haven't worked on my Granny Stripe blanket. I have put one row on my crochet wave blanket. Can't even remember what it's called. It is technically like right behind me in that bag right there. That is like the other crochet blanket. I'm not going to show it off though. It's not worth it for one row. I had the urge to pull out like all my stuff and see what whips I have. And I still have one mitt to make of the underwing pattern. But I still am on the fence about ripping out just that last bit on it. If you remember, I knit it and then I put it down for ages, and then I went back and finished it, so it went like that, and then at the top it just shrunk in because my gauge was completely different. I forgot to loosen my gauge for the colour work, so you can really see the gauge difference in the mitten. It fits okay, but visually it just looks weird. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I've still got Granny Stripe blanket, the wave crochet blanket. Oh, there's the blanket I started for my mum, so that's me up to 3. Then there is the square blanket that she started and I inherited. That's 4. I only have 4 blanket projects? That feels wrong. I want to start more, but I'm not going to. Like, Teresa has forbidden me to start a new project. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, that sounds about right. 4. Because I had the one everyone else is doing that I can't remember for the life of me the name of. You knit the column, and then you knit another column, and another, and another. Yeah, it must only be 4. So I've got four blanket projects. Well, technically 5 because I've still got the one for my first goddaughter to finish. Well, 6 because the one for my second goddaughter. Okay. 6 blanket projects I need to finish. 1 mitten project that I need to go back and tweak one and then do the second mitten. And then I've got my trig point shawl and 2 socks. That's it. That's all my whips I have right now. I am slouching, I do apologise. But yeah, I am in the mood to cast on everything. I recently treated myself to 2 patterns because the designer was having a sale. But I've also been going through the patterns I have. So the 2 patterns I got are by Park Knits. And for the life of me I can't remember what one of them's called, but I got the Marlight. And I would love to get that cast on anytime soon, but I'm not sure what yarn I'm going to use. Am I going to go through my scraps? Am I going to go through my full skeins? And then I haven't decided yet. But I got 2 of her patterns because she was having a sale. But like I say, I've been going through some of my old patterns I already have and just seeing if there's anything that really takes my fancy. I'd love to knit another Love Note sweater but without the mohair. I also really want to knit something that I've got yarn just here to show off. The ranunculus. I really want to do that, but I don't have that pattern and I'm not going to buy it this month. I will talk about that in blather, if I'm going to call it that. But yeah, I'm rearranging, and so I feel like once that's all finished and I get everything into where I want it to, I can then just sit down and maybe either go through the box of projects I have already paired up or go through the patterns I have and have forgotten about and then maybe pair them up as well. So I'm not sure. I should have written down what projects I have paired up already. I know I've got the video to go back through, but I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit weird sitting watching yourself talk. So I should have written down what projects I have paired up, and they're in a box in our bedroom in the wardrobe. So I might go through that later on, but I feel like I should probably get some things finished. But knowing me, I'll probably just go sit down. Oh, hiccup, excuse me. I'll probably go sit down in the living room with something on the TV. I've been watching a lot of murder documentaries, like serial killer documentaries. So I think I'll go put those on and just make a couple more washcloths for Scott and I. Any extra that we don't use, like I said, I can always gift to somebody. But yeah, okay, so acquisitions. There's not many and there won't be some for quite a while, so enjoy this if you like watching what people buy. Financially, I just can't afford to support anyone else right now. My support is going to this household for reasons I'm not going to get into, but basically we're really watching the pennies for the next couple of months. So that means no purchases. I don't need yarn. I have enough yarn. The only way I would be purchasing yarn is if someone specifically asks me to make something for them, but I would hope that they would be like, okay, here's the money for the yarn. So that's really going to be the only time I buy yarn for the next couple of months. So apologies to any makers out there that are hoping I would support them, or apologies to myself because everyone's bringing out some really amazing stuff right now and I really do want them. But I just can't at the moment. I really just can't. I'm currently paying up a yarn advent from Ovis Yarns. Hi Becky. So I had bought that. Well, that's my first payment, so a month ago I think I bought that one. So before we kind of had to start watching the pennies, and it's fine. It's not that much money per month for me to pay it up, so that's really good. but it means I can't really treat myself to anything else right now. So these are purchases I made before we had to start watching the pennies. So the first 4 things I got from my kind of local yarn shop. It was when I lived back home, and I still think of it as my local yarn shop. I'm Mary. So this is from the Wee Crafty Owl back down in Grianaig, and I got some Regia sock yarn. This is going to be for socks for my mum. Shh, don't tell her. I don't think she realises I bought it with the intention of making her them, because I picked it up. She's like, oh, that's lovely. I was like, okay, those are for you. So this is some Regia. And then I also got a really beautiful Regia for me, because we all know I love a good rainbow and just bright colours. Am I holding that? Yep, I'm holding it the right way up. And then I specifically bought these 2 skeins with the ranunculus in mind, because I think it was Sia, which is one half of the Tipsy Knits podcast. I think, I could be so wrong here, I am sorry if I'm wrong, but I think she made the ranunculus in lace weight, and it just looked divine. And I was just like, do you know what, I need in on that action. And so I bought, for the first time in a very long time, I bought some lace weight. So this is the West Yorkshire Spinners Exquisite line, which is 80% Falkland wool and 20% mulberry silk. And I got it in the Savoy colourway. I think it's Savoy. It's really beautiful yarn. I love the colour. It is a bit more green in real life than it's showing up on my camera right now, but that could look very different when I get it up onto my laptop. So that's what these are for. And then there is a mini skein that accompanied these, but Vicky of, oh, I don't know where to put my box. Vicky of Tiny Tail Handcrafted was having a sort of like goodie bag, mystery yarn, and so I decided to get in on that. So this one came with a mini skein that is downstairs in my mini skein jar, and then I got this one as well, which is absolutely beautiful. So these are 2 singles. I don't normally do singles, but I think these are really, really beautiful. So this one is Muddy Puddles, and it is part of a sock set. As I say, it did come with a 20-gram mini skein. So I might try and make socks in a single, since it is a sock set, because I've never made socks in a single. Excuse me. And then this one is Tequila Sunrise. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It's just really, really, these are 100% my colours. And this is her logo, if anyone is interested. I need to take another drink. And then my last treat for a while is from the lovely Ellie of Dyed in the Wool. Look at those colours. This is, sorry Ellie, can't read your handwriting. Dancing with myself. I'm not good at writing handwriting. I'm just not good at reading it. So this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 400 meters in the 100 grams. And it's the colours that really, really drew my attention. I mean, aren't those fantastic? Like, they're neon, they're bright, they're beautiful. And I'm struggling as to what I could knit with it because I want it on show, I want it on display. So I might have to pair up another plane going past. I might have to pair it up with something subtle or... yeah, I think I'd have to go with something subtle, but yet goes with it. And maybe do a shawl? A 2-colour shawl? I think that would be a really good way to show it off. But I just think it's too pretty to go on my feet. So yeah, that's that one. And with Ellie's I got some really cute stickers which are going to go in my knitting journal. As and when the need takes my fancy. There's just some really beautiful ones here. Like, how could you not think that is adorable? It's a donut. Okay, so I'm going to restart the camera again and come back and do a kind of leathery what's been happening section. So if that's your thing, again it'll be like a split second for you guys. If it's not, thank you so much for watching up till now. I hope you've enjoyed and I hope to see you next time. So, blathery section. There's some highs, there's some lows. I guess I'll start with the low first. For those that might not be aware, we have recently said goodbye to Socks. He passed and went to over the Rainbow Bridge on March 12th. Turns out he hadn't been doing so well for a while, and he'd had a sore on kind of like under his arm on his tummy for weeks, like absolutely weeks. Nothing we done, nothing the vet done was clearing it up. And Socks he had a skin condition. He was very prone to sores opening up on his skin, especially if he could get to it with his tongue. It always made it worse. And nothing we were doing, nothing the vet could do was helping it clear up at all. So he was in a lot of pain and he was getting more and more sores. He ended up getting a really nasty one on his paw, which, because he could get to his paw even with a cone on, he was just gnawing at it and it was making it really bad. So we took him up to the vet. They found that he had something going on in his mouth as well. They think it's either an... I don't know if you can hear that. They think it was either an abscess or a tumour. They were swaying more to a tumour. So my mum made the call because I was a wreck. I'm not even gonna lie, I was an absolute wreck. I took the day off of work. I went down the night before because we knew he was going to the vet, and my mum had a feeling that the call was going to be made that day. So I took the day off of work and I went down the night before and I just got to spend the night with him. I got in, my mum and him were in their bed, so I just kind of sat in the bed with my mum. We were chatting away and I was getting Socksy cuddles. He was purring, he was so happy, giving him all the scratches. I was getting all the drills. And then after that I picked him up and carried him through to the room that I would be staying in, because they've made their, what was my office into, they've kind of just changed that into somewhere that I could sleep for the night. So I carried him through there, and I normally close the door at night so that they don't come in the room. Personal reasons as to why I do that. But because I knew this was going to be the last night with him, I let him stay on the bed, had him curl up with me. There's a cat bed at the bottom for some reason, and if he wasn't right beside me, he was in the cat bed, so that was really nice. And then I spent the morning with him as well, and we took him up to the vet for 10 o'clock. And the minute she said about the tumour, I knew that he wasn't going to be coming home with us. Ah, my battery's flashing at me. I don't know how much I'm going to get more out of this. So yeah, so he's passed over the rainbow bridge. He's no longer in pain, he's no longer suffering. We could see that he was going downhill and that he was in pain. So it's good that he's no longer in pain, but it still hasn't sunk in that he's gone. What else? I am doing a charity fundraiser for Crohns and Colitis UK. It's called My Walk It, or hashtag My Walk It. And my goal was set for 10 kilometres because I wasn't sure what I was going to manage in the month of June. Exercise in general is very painful for me, but walking in particular I seem to get particularly sore with, mostly when it comes to my lower back / my hips, because I have a back problem and I have sciatica down my right hand side. And so it can be very, very painful for me even after like 5-10 minutes of walking. I'm normally in quite a great deal of pain. So not ideal, but it's for Crohn's and Colitis, which I've been diagnosed with since 2011. Well, Crohn's disease. And I am trying to raise £150. I'm currently at 90, and I would love if anyone would like to support me in this, and I will put the link down below if you really generously would like to donate towards my cause. Not my cause, my fundraiser. I already said that Scott and I are reorganising. I don't think there's much else to say. Might be doing a yarn de-stash. Might not. My craft stuff just takes up so much space in the flat. Like, really takes up so much space. This whole unit, mine. But the belt and the pop heads, Scott's. But yeah, I'm going to be going through my stuff to see if there's anything I can de-stash in the next couple of weeks. There's a couple of patterns I want to get written up. I'm full-time at work. Oh, I'm getting my hair cut. Say goodbye to all of this. I'm going down the road Tuesday night, so really soon, and I'm helping a trainee hairdresser out. So she was looking for people that were going to want short hair or for a gent's haircut, and I have offered because the heat in this hair do not match, and I just keep finding my hair everywhere, and I just want it cut, I want it gone, I want nice short hair. So say goodbye to nice long hair because it's going to be no more. It's the longest it has been for quite a while. And I was growing it for a reason, but that reason's not going to happen for a while longer, so I can always grow it back. I don't know why I keep stroking my hair. Okay, because my camera keeps flashing at me, I'm not going to push my luck. I'm going to say goodbye now, but thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your patience whilst I got a new podcast out. I know it's been a while. Oh, excuse me. But it feels good to finally have sat down and recorded a podcast. And once Scott's awake, I'll get this edited and I'll hopefully get it uploaded tonight, if not tomorrow. But I will try my best to try and keep to a regular recording schedule. Can't promise when that'll be, or if it's going to be every 2 weeks or if it's going to be once a month, but I will try my best, and hopefully the next time I see you and I speak with you, I will have ends woven in, I will have things 100% finished, I will have like 100 washcloths. No, I'm not even going to say that, I'm joking, I am joking. But yeah, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, leave nice comments down below. I don't really want rude comments. But yeah, thank you, and we will talk soon. Bye.